Hi, hello everyone, it's me Tyron, and welcome back to a new tutorial. A lot of people have been asking me for this one. It's the practice mod installation tutorial. Okay, there's a bunch of things you gotta know. First of all, you need a hackable switch. Okay, this works on emulator as well, but this guide only works on the hack switch. For the emulator, you gotta do other stuff that I don't know how to do. So you might have to look up elsewhere how to do that. So you need a hacked switch, an SD card, obviously. So if you don't have a hacked switch, I suggest you just close the video. So if you don't have homebrew, it just doesn't work. It's useless. Just don't even follow the guide. It's impossible to use. If you don't know if your switch is hackable, I'll leave in the description a website called ismyswitchpatched.com. You see here, there's a prefix. And in order to know your prefix and the code of your switch, you just take it out of the dock. All right. So you take the switch out of the dock. You look at the bottom where the USB-C is, right? You go to the left, and there's a barcode with numbers and a bunch of letters. And you see here, mine says XAJ4. So I click on the prefix. I select the one I have, which is XAJ4. And then I put in 6 digits. So for me, after the number there, it's 003 609. Then I click check, and boom, my console is hackable. Surprise! What a surprise. If it's not hackable, then it is what it is. You can maybe find out how to do it on emulator. Again, I don't know how to do that. You might have to ask help. Maybe in the SMO Discord, someone knows. I'll leave a link for that as well in the description. You have to go to the SMO speedrun.com page, and then you have to navigate it a little bit, and you're gonna find the Discord link, and you can join maybe ask for help. They can help you out maybe. And then, hooray! Maybe you do have a hackable switch. But I'm not gonna tell you how to install it. You have to Google that, okay? Go on good old google.com, look up how to homebrew my Switch, okay? And look up written guides. I suggest you follow those because the YouTube videos are usually outdated, but the written guides are usually updated constantly with the newest versions. Maybe there's like more steps that you gotta follow and you gotta read, but it's better. Don't break your Switch, guys, all right? It's very unlikely, but if you don't know what the heck you're doing, then it's just better, to be safe about it. So follow the reading guides. Anyways, with all of that out of the way, here comes the tutorial for real. So I'm gonna have 2 links in the description other than the ones I already mentioned. The first one is gonna be the practice mod itself by Fruity Loops, or Fruity for short. Thank you so much to her because she made the mod after I was complaining constantly about the old mod because it didn't have input display, it wasn't cool, it was missing features, and it was basically abandoned. So she stepped in and she helped us out a lot. He hasn't updated in a while, but honestly, it already has a lot of things that the old one didn't have, including input display. So, that's a good thing. Anyways, go here on github.com on the link, click it, click on atmosphere.zip so it downloads the file, okay? Then you go to the other link for Simple Mod Manager. This will allow us to enable or disable the mod easily. So you download this, simplemodmanager.nro. You download it, put it on your desktop, all good and dandy. Then you turn off your Switch, take out the SD card, insert it in your computer with an SD card reader or whatever, and then go to your desktop. Here we go. Pretend this is the SD card, all right? I'm not gonna turn off my Switch just for this because it's gonna be easier to show you like this. All right. So pretend it's the SD card that you put in your computer. All right. So I made a folder here just to show you with the same files that you'd find on your SD card. And the first thing you need to do is take simplemodmanager.nro and drag it into the Switch folder. Okay. So drag it right here. It's gonna be right there. Go back to the root of the SD card, make a new folder. All right, and call this folder mods, all lowercase. All right, I'm pretty sure that's needed. You open it up, you create a new folder, you call it whatever you want. I'm gonna call it practice mod. Okay, and then you open it up and create another folder. You guessed it. I'm gonna call it practice mod 2, just because it's the second folder. And then you open it up and you don't make a folder. You go to the atmosphere.zip file you downloaded. Yes, you need WinRAR or 7-zip or whatever you want to use. It's all good. You open up the atmosphere folder here, and then you drag contents into practice mod 2. Okay? And boom, that's the practice mod installed, just like that. All right? So now you eject your SD card, put it back in your Switch, go back into Atmosphere or Homebrew, however you want to call it. And we're going to see you guys there, all right? I'm going to switch scene and we're going to move to the Switch itself, all right? Okay, so here we are on the Switch, all right? Go to your album, look for Simple Mod Manager, open it up. And then I have a lot of mods here, different version of practice mods, so don't worry about it. You're going to see this. You're going to only have one, so it's going to be way easier to find, obviously. But mine is this one. Yeah, you can see my names are awesome. Oh my god. Yes, that's the name of how that's how I named it, all right? You press A, it says you want to install it? Yes. Okay? Also, I forgot to say this, but obviously this is 1.3, okay? This is the 1.3 mod. It doesn't work on 1.0. There's a 1.0 practice mod somewhere. I'm gonna leave a link for it, I guess, in the description. It's called differently, works differently. But if you follow the same steps and you really want to play on 1.0 for some reason, for reason unknown, maybe you want to play freaking, I don't know, free caps or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'll leave a link for that. But the steps are the same as this mod. Just drag the contents folder from that and put it in the mods folder, whatever. Also, I forgot to mention this as well, but if you want to disable the practice mod, then you just go back here to the practice mod, press X, and it's gonna ask you to disable the mod, and you press yes. Okay? Boom. That's it. Okay, so now the practice mod is on. All right, you go back to the home menu, you open up the game. I have a million user files. And as soon as this is over, you're gonna see on the top left, a new menu pops up. There it is. I already have it set up so that I have an input display, you can see it. If you wanna open or close the menu, you just hold, as you can see in the input display, you hold L and then D-pad left.
Super Mario
to open and close
Odyssey.
it. So, let me go in game just to show you the options. So here we are. These are all the options you have. You can even turn on a timer right there. It's a little borked, so I wouldn't suggest you use it, but if you want, feel free to use it. Input display, these are my settings. You can move it here. To navigate the menus, you have to press A, by the way, to like enable stuff. So I press A, see, and now it's highlighted, and then I press D-pad left or right to enable or disable, or anyways, move in the menu. The keybinds, these are my keybinds if you want to use them. The wheel is when you hold the left click. You can see this is the wheel. You put whatever you want, like life apart, for example. It gives me the life apart. It's just things you want to do. It's all good. I suggest you also do this if you want to practice the wiggler. Do this and this. So now when I press this, I'm gonna go to the next pattern or the random one, whatever. If you want to respawn moons on files, it's Gray Moon Refresh. If you haven't collected the moons yet, it's Moon Refresh. Okay. It might mess up the boss fight, so you're gonna need to make like separate files for boss fights and no boss fight. That's most of the things you gotta know with this. There's also a stage warper. Never go to practice stage, it's borked. Alright, never go here, the game crashes, though don't use it. And another thing, in cap, never use scenario 1, because this is gonna happen. You're just gonna fall endlessly like this. If you have the Odyssey there, for example, in a file that's already completed, then it might be okay, because you can just enable this and warp to the Odyssey, but if you have a new file, then don't bother. Also, very important, very important. When you use a new file with the practice mod, never warp before you beat Cascade completely, okay? So, if you try to go to Sand Kingdom without beating Cascade and Cap, the game is gonna crash, alright? And it's never gonna work. So be mindful of that, alright? And yeah, that's gonna be it for the tutorial. If you want to make practice files, I suggest you Dutch just make a ton like this. For example, this one is Lost and Metro, for example. So I only have Lost and Metro. This one is Seaside, Snow Seaside Luncheon. And then I have a bunch of the other ones with the other stages. Thank you all for watching, guys. I'll see you all in my streams or maybe on a new video that I'm working on, maybe. Huh? And I still gotta make the Mooncave Skip tutorial, I know. But still. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.